Morning, everyone.
Morning.
So, we need a motion to approve minutes for the 27th.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second that.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Abstain.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Right. Alrighty. So, there's that one there.
Okay, today's financials include then and nows from the Department on Aging to transit for senior transportation during December of 2018. Travel requests from Emergency Services to the Ohio Township Association's Winter Conference, and a travel request from JFS for supervisor training in Columbus. Among the vouchers are $28,475.50 from Aging to Junction Buick for the purchase of a 2019 GMC Terrain, $7,580.55 from the Commissioner's Office to Mazanik, Raskin, and Ryder for representation of the Prosecutor's Office, RE, the dispute with juvenile court, and $18,883 from the Department of Development, Community Development for Great Lakes Growers revolving loan for machinery and equipment for the greenhouse operation. And finally, $48,220.63 from the Sheriff's Office to SS Kemp and Company for a commercial steamer and kettle for the jail kitchen.
Do we have a motion?
I make that motion. Real quick, the Masnick Rider, how much did you say that was again?
$7,580.55. That's a combination of about three different vouchers. It takes the total up to about $25,000 so far for that whole situation for representation for the prosecutor's office. But that should be it, because this was from like
Yep.
April, May, and June or something
Yeah.
like that.
I know there's been a lot of them, but I thought, for some reason, I thought we already paid that, but no, right?
Yeah, no, not this
okay,
part, no.
Okay. Okay,
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Thank you very much. And probate.
We weren't able to make it down for this.
Okay.
I talked to Kim yesterday.
Okay.
This is just, there's no increase. This is just moving funds from on one of their grant applications, from one source to another.
Okay, we feel comfortable with it then?
Yeah.
Okay. So do we have a motion on number 3?
I shall move. Second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Hey, Dave.
Morning.
How are you?
Doing okay.
Good, good.
You?
Yep, excellent.
Good. So, just asking you to accept the resignation of Jessica. It came up unexpectedly, but, we'll always take the opportunity to take a look at the situation and then come back to this board and say, here's the right structure, here's the right plan, and then ask for permission to go ahead and get replaced.
Okay.
So this is effective at the end of next week. She gave us 2 weeks notice.
Okay.
And I think it's just, just in a word, it's just a case where she found something that she thought was better suited for her, and so
Okay.
wish her well.
All right, do we have a motion?
Dave, if you want to talk about, I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
You want to talk about number 5 also, since it's
Oh, yeah, and.
somewhat associated with Jessica.
Yeah,
Lee.
somewhat. So we need to bring on, I think, a hire for the office administrative position
Okay.
and get that advertised and so forth.
Okay. So do you want to do that, or as far as to try to regroup to figure out what?
Yeah, this
No, you-
position is basic office coordinator, and so she'll help keep things moving along.
Okay.
While we come back, and we'll probably ask to enlist the help of some outside agencies in the short term until we
Okay.
get the positions filled. But this position will handle the day-to-day movement of checks to the bank and deposits and mail and keep things functioning for us.
And are we looking?
We have this
as being
position already.
full-time, or?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And is this
This is
something?
I'm sorry, Ralph, this is
Yeah.
a position that she had originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jessica.
And is it is it a position that there's, is this for internal, or is this, or is this?
External.
It's external, okay. Okay. All right. So do we have a motion for both 4 and 5?
I so move.
Second.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Blair?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. All righty, thank you,
Okay.
Dave. Yes,
All right,
sir.
Dave.
Any other? No?
Nope, we're good, thank you. And then,
This is the last one we have to sign.
authorization, okay,
This one that Tim has to sign them going forward.
good.
Good.
Yeah.
So this is just updating the accounting forms and payroll authorization forms for Archives Commissioners, County Home, Department of Development, Dog Warden, Maintenance, and Transit. And yes, County Home is still included in that because there are still open funds. So,
Okay. So do we have a motion on that there?
I so move.
Second?
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spillier? Okay. Do you want to address other two issues before we go into reorg?
That's probably better to go ahead and do them now. Just be-
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have the effects from the first entity.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board rescind the motion from December 27, 2018 to approve and execute Resolution 18-177 to request NOACA amend the Code of Regulations to reflect the composition of Jog County to represent 2 Commissioners and the County Engineer.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Make a motion.
Second?
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
This is to rescind the motion that they approved to change the composition, so it'll remain to stay as the 3 Commissioners.
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Leonard? Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Did you have another motion?
I have one, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board set a not-to-exceed amount per month for the Planning Commission appointment of Chester Miller to be effective January 1st,
Oh, for travel?
2019, for his
Okay,
travel
yep.
reimbursement.
Yeah, when he was reappointed, there was some discussion about the travel and but nothing was ever taken.
Oh, okay, yep.
No action
So-
was ever taken for it.
So this would set a maximum per month amount of not to exceed $45 a month. So that way, if there's more than one meeting a month, you can get reimbursement up to $45 per month.
Okay,
And that would be for the length of his term.
okay. Get a motion for that?
Does everybody get the stipends on that committee?
No, just Chester Miller.
The only difference is that he is the planning commission member, that is the Amish member. So he doesn't have his own vehicle, he has to rely on transportation.
And historically, we have not, it's been hard for us to get somebody to represent the Amish community there because of the cost. The thought process was, I get it, it's all volunteer, but the whole thought process was that it would cost, say, us a couple bucks in our gas tank to get there compared to, them paying $45 a day to get to and from. So that was the whole thought, to try to have a representation of a bigger part of this county to be able to be represented at the planning commission.
Would you mind a question?
Pardon me?
Would you mind a question?
Sure.
So I'd like to have you review, at some point in time, go back and review the motion that was originally made for the Amish to be serving on the planning commission or wherever, because I think it was a broader than just Chester Miller resolution.
No, it was actually brought up during a planning commission meeting. You brought it up, and Tim actually seconded the motion during the planning commission meeting, and it was just to request the commissioners cover $500 in travel expenses for Mr. Miller. And up until last year, he did not turn in reimbursement receipts, but we had 11 that were turned in last year. Most of them were $25 a month. The last one was $40, so I'm assuming that it was probably just because of the difference in driver or whatever. One of them was for a meeting that had been canceled, but he had been not notified. So that was also included in the reimbursement.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Can we make an amendment to the motion?
What amendment did you want to make to that?
Just a suggestion is, if anybody else has car trouble getting to the meeting, that we would compensate them something.
I don't see that being necessary. Just go ahead and read the motion.
I'm gonna read it again.
Or just,
I made the motion.
Yeah, and I
Ralph
seconded
seconded
it.
it.
Motion and seconded, so.
Commissioner DeVore,
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner Spiller.
alright,
Okay.
so now we've got,
Your organizational.
organizational meeting, let me put this,
Do we want to let First Energy
Yeah, let's,
Yes.
yeah,
come up with?
yeah, percentage.
oh, yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No need to make them sit through.
No, yeah, you don't want
Well,
to.
they just want to say
sit through 8
hi.
pages of that, Don.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. Happy New Year,
Come on,
Commissioners.
sit, take a seat, take a
Thank
seat.
you.
How are you today?
Good,
Good,
thank
good,
you.
good.
I know
Yeah.
all of you.
Hi, Tim Leslie.
Wendy Seeley.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
As I hope all of you are aware, Dave Dillon has opted to retire
Right.
after many years of service at First
So much
Energy.
change going on.
I miss him already,
Yeah.
but we are, have second day employee in this particular group. Dave Conley has joined us. He will be under training for probably the next month. So I am your contact
Okay. Do you guys
temporarily.
have a card that we could have
I
for
will
direct
get you this.
contact
I have
numbers?
them.
Okay,
Yes.
sounds good.
So I will let you know, Dave Dillon's phone numbers and emails are still usable. His
Okay.
cell number will be the same, his office number will be the same as Dave Dillon's.
Okay, all right,
His emails are actually, if you use his email address, will still come to me.
okay.
We are excited to have him on board. I wanted to make sure we had a personal introduction.
No, we appreciate you coming
We will
down.
have different times and meetings, I'm sure, after this. He will be joining a lot of the different chambers in the area and attending a lot of the same meetings. We will give you a heads up. I am still the Lake County and Ashtabula County Regional External Affairs Representative, and we are still going to be looking to come to Geauga County for support on our Perry initiatives.
Where do we stand? I mean, after, I was there at the tour when it was all
Yes.
really hitting the,
So right now, we're currently in the bankruptcy status on
Mhm.
behalf of First Energy Solutions and First Energy Nuclear,
Okay.
which does include any of our operation for our coal plants as well. We hope to have, and again, right now, I don't have any updates in regards to how or when or if we emerge out of bankruptcy. But we are continuing garnering support. I hope to have, some new legislation for view in the short term, but at this time, we don't have that. But stay tuned, because you will see this face
Yeah.
coming to you again to most likely talk about specifics if new legislation does emerge out of bankruptcy.
okay.
But again, there's no standard update at this time.
But they're still operational in the same way they were, and.
So we are operating as if nothing has changed.
Okay.
We still have full staffing of over 700 employees.
Mhm.
Shared Services Department has actually dissolved, so technically First Energy Corp is separated with an agreement in front of the bankruptcy judge from First Energy Solutions and FENOC. Myself, I'm actually representing as a consultant on behalf of FES and FENOC, so I'm able to talk about it. And again, I will be bringing him up to speed on a lot of this, but we are still participating in all of our drills for the Perry plant, which Geauga County is a huge part of.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
but in the meantime, again, Dave will be your primary contact. Again, same numbers, same first name, you're only changing last name.
Yeah.
But, we're still a community partner. My office is right down the street in Concord, actually, so.
Good.
If there's any questions, the numbers, the emails, they're all still being routed either to him or myself, so.
So Dave, give us a little bit about your background and your experience.
Yeah, so I was with actually First Energy Solutions for the last 8 years in the sales group in various roles as an analyst, different support roles, and an account rep there. So I'm looking forward to getting up to speed and working with you all, and excited to get that happening. But yeah, like I said, I'll be leaning on Wendy, at least for a little while to do that, and then I look forward to getting up to speed with you.
And as previously with Dave Dillon, I've always been his backup, so I will make sure you have my cards before I leave here today. I ask that you guys only call me on my cell because we're always out at meetings, hopefully getting out and meeting with everybody. But, any questions, concerns that you have?
You know, the biggest thing that, and I'm sure that this is, I don't want to regurgitate old business, but, support down the road with trying to come up with the resolution and something with the airport. It's something where, we still have this is a huge burden on us, and we just need as much assistance as we possibly can. I don't know if you're both familiar with it
I'm
or not,
familiar
but
with
it
it.
just,
Yes.
we've got, $2.3 million move project for power lines that are in front of the airport. And we've had, meetings with your legal department, our prosecutor's office, and just, it's something that's really stagnating our growth there and hurting us. And it's a situation where we want to try to hopefully move in a direction, and I'm hopeful that your position and the ability to converse with you is better than Dave, and I'm just being point blank honest, because I hit a brick wall talking to him, and I think that there's got to be teamwork and collaboration between the two parties to try to move this forward, and it's a situation that's there, and it's not going away, and we're going to continue to have to revisit it, and we got to try to see what we could do to have possible assistance at a later time. So I'm glad to see somebody else other than Dave is here, to be honest with you, and I'm not saying that to be rude,
Nope,
but
understand.
I felt like I was hitting a brick wall with him, and I have no problem saying that publicly, so.
Okay. Well, what I can do is, obviously, I will take that up to our manager and see what we can do to at least set a follow-up meeting.
Yeah.
As you being the point person?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the project
Yeah.
to a point. Obviously, I was not, I know
Sure.
that you held a meeting at our offices
Yeah.
down the street. I think I let the majority of the people in because I'm right at the front door, so.
Yeah.
But again, we will, we want to obviously be a partner in
Yeah.
any type of economic growth that we can for the Cuyahoga, because it only benefits us as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Roger, do you got any questions, comments?
No, I was just waiting to meet the new guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
I
be
figured.
easy on them, all right?
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Yeah,
So,
well,
again, we thank you for, I know we weren't on the agenda, so.
No, we appreciate you coming down, and good luck with everything, and
Dave,
we're
is your
always
office
here.
gonna be in Solon?
Yes. I'll be in Dave's office, same spot.
Okay. You're gonna attend the Township Association
I believe so.
tomorrow?
It's tomorrow
Oh,
evening.
Is it
Tomorrow?
tomorrow?
It's tomorrow night.
Oh,
In
At
downtown
Parkland
Parkland?
Community.
I don't know if
Not
we were
sure
on
last
that
year.
agenda for tomorrow night, but I think there's one in April that we were planning on attending. I think that was the one that we were planning on attending, so that he has business
How many
cards that
you
he
meet?
actually can hand out.
Meet 100 people. so.
Yes. And also, just since we're, First Energy Solutions will also have a presence at the Township Association's Winter Conference down in Columbus. So we'll be sending out a notification to all the members to let them know that they can stop by our booth and hear a little bit about our Alliance initiatives for the Perry plant. So, again, thank you very much and congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, have a good day,
Thank you.
thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
There's copies here of the lengthy organizational portion that they will be covering, if anybody is interested in them. The wonderful lengthy pages that we have. I have a few copies. What you want? This is the org part that they're gonna do.
Oh, for today?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Joe, did you want one of those?
How do you ever hire?
Do you want one? I don't think you really do. Oh, thank you.
That's, you can thank the
This is
teacher
this
for
is what you're
that.
gonna share. I have one left, so you guys can share. Okay. Here's Wendy's business cards.
Okay, that's, Alrighty, so now we've got the reorganizational. So for the 2019 organizational meeting here, January 8th, 2019, at approximately 9:55. We discussed this in work session last week. And pretty much I think that it's going to be fairly simple and painless to go through this. As far as for moving forward, Tim will be the president of the board. Myself will be the vice president, and the third commissioner would be Jim Dvorak. As far as our meeting schedules, we're going to pretty much leave it the exact same way that it is right now. There's going to be no changes. The Tuesday meetings that we have, our planning commission will start a little bit late at 9:30 rather than at 9 like we did today. If we've got to make some adjustments, we'll just make them as we've always on our meeting dates. Just trying to go through here, and we'll make this document, we'll make a motion on this document at the end, but if there's any specific things here that on the front page that you guys see, of any concern.
I did change the number 7 to read the Township Trustees and Fiscal Officers Association, so that change was made.
Okay.
That Mr. Dvorak pointed out during the work session, so that was changed. Because of what they are, can we do like maybe
So on-
sections?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and start on, for number, so at this point, let's go ahead, if we have a motion for Tim Lennon for president, Ralph Spillier for vice president, and Jim Dvorak for commissioner. Do we have a motion on that?
So move.
Second?
Commissioner Dvorak?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you.
For the, go ahead and let's just go ahead and start for the board, required hearing for the primaries and alternates on this. Can we just do that?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go ahead and just read those out.
So the Commissioner's Office is asking the board to approve the appointments of members to the Board of Commissioners for the boards and committees for 2019 as follows. And if we need to make any changes during this, please let me know. This is based off of the information that we talked about during the work session. So I have ADP Board, primary Tim Lennon, alternate Ralph Spitaleri. Board of Revision, primary Tim Lennon, alternate Ralph Spitaleri. Community Corrections, primary Ralph Spitaleri, alternate Jim Dvorak. CIC is all 3 commissioners. Courthouse Security Advisory Committee, primary Ralph Spitaleri, alternate Jim Dvorak. Family First, primary Tim Lennon, alternate Ralph Spitaleri. Financial Review and Report Committee, the president is required to be the primary and the alternate is Jim Dvorak. Geauga County Agricultural Society is all 3 of you. Geauga Trumbull Solid Waste Policy, the primary is the president. Did you want to appoint an alternate to that?
Yes, and I'd like to, I can appoint, I don't have to appoint another commissioner, correct?
That I do not know. That is a question I would have to ask Greg, but I know that there's other members that sit on the policy committee that are not, like, that are appointed by you guys as a board.
Okay.
So we could tentatively do one as an alternate, and if we have to change it, we can go back.
Okay, well, I'll
Or do you want to talk to Greg first? There is
Just-
a policy committee meeting on the 14th at 10 o'clock in the middle of the Board of Revision meeting.
Skip, do you know what the, if it has to be a commissioner for that, the policy committee
For the commissioner seat, I don't know that.
for solid waste?
I believe it's probably okay, but certainly can be adjusted by the
Okay.
board when we get together, but.
Well, I'll put Jim Dvorak on as the alternate for now,
Okay.
and and I can always change that, right?
Yes, we can
Okay.
always amend, go back and
Okay.
amend. So Geauga Trumbull Solid Waste, the Board of Directors is all 3 commissioners.
Okay.
Health District Advisory Board, primary is Tim Lennon as president, alternate Ralph Spitaleri. Investment Advisory Committee is 2 commissioners. It'll be Tim Lennon, president, alternate Ralph Spitaleri. Microfilming Board, primary Jim Dvorak, alternate Ralph Spitaleri. NOACA, 3 commissioners. The alternate for Spitaleri is listed as Skip Claypool.
We're gonna have this Cattell.
You're gonna change that
Yep.
to Joe Patel. Lennon, Shane Hajar, and Mr. Dvorak is Nick Goris. Matt Cog, primary Ralph Spitaleri, alternate Jim
Yeah,
Dvorak.
on that one, can you put Jim as the primary?
Yes. And then you want to be the alternate?
Yeah.
Okay. The NACOG meeting that was scheduled for tomorrow has been canceled for this month, and they'll start up again in February.
Also, on that NACOG, is that something that the alternate has to be a commissioner, or how is that?
I would assume that it has to be a commissioner because that is the governing board for
Okay.
that's made up of.
Did
you
you
meet
deal with them?
quarterly,
It's a monthly meeting.
It's a monthly meeting, but I figured, I thought that you might have had actually an involvement already with Burton,
Little bit.
Kent and stuff, but,
Yeah.
so I figured that might have been something that you'd have a little more familiarization with.
That'll work.
They've been going back and forth on location, so most of the time they seem to be held here in Building 8, and then sometimes they're located in other counties. So. Planning Commission Board is all 3, Portage Jug Juvenile Detention Center is all 3, Records Commission, the primary is the president, so that would be Mr. Lennon, alternate Jim Dvorak, in the revolving loan and local revolving loan, I have primary Tim Lennon and alternate Ralph Spitaleri.
Okay.
So those are your board and committee appointments for 19.
Okay, so we have a motion on those.
I so move.
Second?
Commissioner Dvorak?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner
All right.
Spitaleri?
Okay, so let's do the section here for staff appointments to all the way from here to the dog board, and then we'll take a motion on that.
So I have to appoint Jerry Morgan to the position of County Administrator, number 1301, to be effective January 8, 2019, at the rate of $46.87 per hour, grade 18, step 10. Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board appoint Christine Blair as the clerk to the Commissioners, number 1306. Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the following staff appointments: Director, Department on Aging, Jessica Bolt; Executive Director, Department of Development, Dave Favorite; Chief Building Enforcement Official, Mike Mulhausen; Director, Department of Emergency Services, Roger Peterson; Director, Job and Family Services, Craig Swenson; Director of Maintenance, Glenn Burnick; Director of Transportation, Michael Casper; Director of Water Resources, Stephen Illich; Sanitary Engineer, Water Resources, Jared Morgan; and Dog Warden, Matt Gradillo. And to acknowledge those staff appointments as placed in the unclassified service position pursuant to the ORCs listed above, and are provided the unclassified service explanation and acknowledgement.
Do we have a
Okay.
motion on those?
I so move for the staff appointment.
Second?
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier? Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad to stay.
So as far as the Deborah Ashburn to act as acting commissioner clerk, okay, for your, while you would be gone, that would be,
It's for the whole year of
Okay.
19, and then if I'm not here and Debbie's not here, then it falls to Jerry.
okay.
Okay.
More trouble.
Yeah, right.
So
Just-
do we have
just
a
say yes.
motion on that?
I so move.
Second?
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier? Before we go any further, can I ask for you to move on your meeting schedule for 19?
You mean on the first page?
Yes, we did the
From-
president and vice president and board, but we skipped the meeting schedule for
Okay.
19.
I make a motion to approve 1 through 9.
Okay.
Second that?
DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier? Thank you. And then the next one is back to the delegated, the
Okay.
resolution for county administrator.
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and read that through the bottom of page number 3.
To,
Actually, stop at the credit cards. Don't.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is to approve and execute resolution 19006, authorizing county administrator to exercise powers delegated hereby under ORC 305.30. The only addition that we made, 2 changes. One, we took off the section regarding the assistant county administrator because that position has not been filled at this time. And then the only other change that we made was to allow the county administrator to approve unpaid leave of absence requests for employees under the commissioner's hiring authority.
Okay. Good with that.
Commissioner's office is requesting the board appoint Joe Cattell as drainage engineer and set the compensation at a biweekly rate of $397.67 effective with pay number 2 through number 25 and number 26 at $397.62 per the memo of understanding dated January 29, 2013. Because he's in the middle of the term, there's no change to the compensation for the county engineer based on the new law that came into effect on 27. Commissioner's office is requesting the board appoint Michael Massey as county apiarist and further approve and execute the 2019 Ohio Department of Agriculture appointment for county apiary inspector form to be effective January 1st, 2019 at the hourly rate of $12.61 per hour and a mileage reimbursement rate of 58 cents. I did talk to Mr. Massey, and yes, he would like to continue as the apiarist for the county for this year. The Commissioner's office is requesting the board appoint Jared Morgan to serve as prevailing wage coordinator for Jog County for 19, and the Commissioner's office is requesting the board appoint Nicholas Flores to serve as prevailing wage coordinator for Jog County for 2019. Stop there.
Okay.
Do we have a motion on that?
I so move for those appointments.
Second?
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye.
The next one I have on here is for tax incentive review and reinvestment, housing council. And currently, Mr. Gordon is Mr. Lennon's and Mr. Morgan is Mr. Spitaler's on those boards. So I need to appoint Mr. Dvorak to sit on that board, but I need to know if he would like to represent him as his alternate. This is for the 3-year term that it's gonna complete the 3-year term that ends on December 31st, 2020.
I haven't really thought about that.
Any ideas?
Tim?
I had Dave Blair, right? I think he was mine. Or no, Jerry was, right?
No, you actually have Adrian.
Adrian.
Adrian is yours,
Okay.
and Jerry is Ralph's. So previously we had Mr. Lairs, Mr. Claypool's, and so that's what we're trying to fill currently. It doesn't include outside members of the community, like Beth McCaffrey from Berkshire Local School
Is it
District. And
Dave Favorite?
trustees, and so Dave Favorite might be
Dave Favorite would be
Dave?
good.
You good with that?
What is it, Dave?
Are you allowed to sit as an alternate for a commissioner on your own board?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right, right.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, maybe not. Okay.
he's not listed, so I don't know if that makes a difference. I mean, you sit in on those meetings, but do you run the meeting or does somebody else run the meeting? You guys haven't had
Which
too
is
many.
Tim.
I do not.
Well, we can leave it blank for right now and just appoint you and then come back and we can amend the motion
Okay.
to appoint your alternate.
All right, thanks.
Okay. So I just need a motion to appoint Mr. Dvorak to those boards then.
I shouldn't make that motion, should I?
Do not.
Probably.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Commissioner Dvorak?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye.
Okay. So then number 17 is our credit card authorization for the year. They include a request from Job and Family Services to approve the addition of Mr. Burton, Josh Burton, to the Maintenance Department Home Depot commercial credit account. And the Department on Aging approved the addition to Jessica Bolt, Robert Devitz, and Ed Shortridge to the Maintenance Department Home Depot commercial credit account. And then to approve the use of county credit cards for the year 2019, and further authorize the President Board to execute the applications for authorization to permit that use. For the Department on Aging, Commissioner's Office, Department of Development, Building and Community and Economic, Department of Emergency Services, Job and Family Services, Maintenance Department, Transit, the Auditor's Office. This is all Tim. You don't have to sign these.
Perfect.
Tim. The Auditor's Office, the County Engineer's Office, probate juvenile court, with not to exceed monthly amounts, and for specific individuals, they are listed as such on the attached sheets. I don't we don't need to go
We don't
through
need to
this
read
entire
this,
list?
no.
Okay. I did it last year, so.
Yeah. I think that would be not a good idea, so.
It sets a per month maximum for the individual cards, and some of them are based on individual people, based on those cards for the individual departments. I have not gotten, credit card use requests from the sheriff's office or common police court, but I know that that's gonna take a little bit of time on the common police because they have to go through the process of getting Mr. Andre in place for his card. So those will be coming, but
On that topic, is there a way to talk, Jerry, to our prosecutor's office and figure out how to get it set up so we can use credit cards for advertisements, and, you know, like next door here with the planning commission? I mean, you know, $145 payments holding up a very important position in this county, you know?
Right.
There's gotta be a way for us to conduct business.
I can get back with them, but the discussions that have always been had is that it's not in the Ohio Revised Code, and again, I have to go back and look to see, I know there was that legislation that was, you know, brought up in the last, general session down in Columbus to add stuff, but I never heard whether it, you know, was approved or not.
Yeah,
So I'll have to double check.
I mean, would
I
that
haven't
be,
heard anything from CCAO yet either that it was approved, but that was one of the subscriptions and online advertising were the two things that they were discussing, including in that allowance.
okay. I mean, it just seems
Yeah,
like
it's something-
silly.
It's something we've tried to fight and tried to get done for years, and it just doesn't.
Okay.
He's not here anymore.
Okay, so I
So
think,
with that, I just need a motion to approve use.
I so move.
Second?
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Lund?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
right. Okay. Anything else, sir?
That's all I have for
That's
today.
it. Anything, I'm trying to think.
I have tried to condense that portion down as much as it feasibly could.
That's right.
It's, when I first started, it was 12 pages long.
Very good. Well, I appreciate your putting it all together.
So, other than that, motion to adjourn.
I so move.
And we're off.
All right.
All right, then.
Thank you very much.